Very good morning, dear students, grade 12 A and B. We started off with the third level, but we were not able to complete the lesson. So I thought, even though I gave you a comprehension to do on this lesson, I did not find many responses. So I am not very happy with that. I thought I should let you know this. We are doing this very seriously. So I think you better take it seriously and follow up what is being done in the class every day. Because we do not know when you will come back to school and how much of time we will have to complete our portions. And we need a lot of time for revisions. So remember this, not only for English, it's for all the subjects, and I don't find you people very serious about it. So please make sure you are serious and take every lesson seriously. Okay, so let's go on with our third level by Jack Finney. That's your supplementary. Right, we started off talking about levels. Where do we talk about level? Like in our stations, okay? In the railway station abroad, they say level. We started off this lesson, so let me just give you a recapitulation on what we have already done. So the third level, and this lesson is about, it deals with psychology. A person, how he gets affected, or when a person is very stressed out, okay, when he fears a lot, when there is anxiety within him, what happens to such kind of people? When they go to psychiatrists, as I told you, we watched this movie, Dhanush's movie. The girl goes in, she has like hallucination. You know what hallucination is? You start thinking, you start imagining things, you start thinking that what you're imagining is true. This is hallucination. Some people keep hearing voices also while they hallucinate. So that happens only when a person is completely stressed out. Probably they're so confused, they cannot take the stress of this world. So that is when they start hallucinating. So we were talking about, if you remember in class, we were talking about Dhanush's movie where the girl keeps telling him, I was your partner in such and such a year, in this century, in that century. She talks about in Burma, how they escaped, how they were caught, all these things. You know the whole story of that particular movie. So let me not go into the details because it is closely connected. I'm just recalling that. And that when she goes to the psychiatrist says, you need to take rest. And even during her in the company where she was working, even the boss tells her, you need a break, you need to take stress relievers, you need to take your tablets properly, all these things. So people of this world usually think that hallucination is a kind of escape. They think they are completely transported into another realm or another world where they don't have the stress that they face in this world, in the present world where they are in. So they feel they are more comfortable in the other world, where they imagine life is very, cool. Life is extremely as they want it to be. All these things. So here, when you look at it, the third level is one such lesson where they talk about how people, even hobbies, are a means of escape. They say. Okay, you might have a lot of hobbies. When do we take up hobbies? When we have leisure, right? When you are very cool, when you don't have much of work, you try to indulge yourself into something which you like. Some people might do gardening. Some people love stamp collecting. Some people like drawing. Some people like photography. There are so many other things. Some people like me. I like to sit and listen to music, or even watch movies. So all these are things that you would like to do where you find you are relaxing. Actually, you're giving your brain some rest. This is what you claim to do. That is what you claim to have, and that is why you claim to have a hobby. So here, let me go on to this lesson. I'm going to read from the beginning, though I've done it with you in class. Let's do it a little quickly where we have already completed, and then we go into details. Where from there we have stopped. Okay. Now, so the third level by Jack Finney. So the presidents of the New York Central and the New York. So Central Station, you can connect. The presidents of the New York Central and the New York, New Haven and Hartford railroads will swear on a stack of timetables that there are only two. So they can swear on a stack means a pile of timetables. You know, when a particular train reaches the station, when it leaves the station, when a particular train is scheduled, when a particular train is delayed, all these things. Okay, they keep track of all such things. So it is said that they can swear on those timetables that there has never been a third level in the railway station. Okay, here. So there are only two according to me. But I say, so who's this I? Jack Finney says, but I say there are three. So he says the officials there might claim there are two. But I know personally that there is another one existing. So I say there are three levels in the Grand Central Station. So, but I say there are three because I have been on the third level of the Grand Central Station. So he's talking about the Grand Central Station. Okay, and he says there are three levels. As I've always told you, write this in words. Okay. So there are three levels in the Grand Central Station according to Jack Finney. But the authorities, they only know about two levels. Now, yes, I have taken the obvious step very clearly. I know there's something wrong with me because I differ from, I have a different opinion from what the other people in this world have. So I know that I need some help. So he is very, he knows that there's something wrong with him because he's the only person who claims that there is another level on the Grand Central Station. So he has taken the obvious step. What is that obvious step? I talked to a psychiatrist friend of mine, among others. I told him about the third level at Grand Central Station, and he said it was a waking dream wish fulfillment. So, what did the psychiatrist tell him when he told him about the third level in the Grand Central Station? He says it is a waking dream wish fulfillment. Alright. So now, waking dream, when you're awake, you dream. What do you dream about? A wish. And that is coming true when you're dreaming of such things. So he calls it, the psychiatrist calls it a waking dream wish fulfillment. He said I was unhappy. So the psychiatrist is telling him, see, you are not very happy with this life. Probably you have a lot of stress. Probably you are having a lot of tensions. Probably you are not able to cope with this world. The stress of this world, the anxiety that you're facing. So he says, see, I think you are unhappy. That's why you are claiming that there's a third level in the Grand Central Station. That's made my wife kind of mad. Mad, yeah? Not that she's gone mad. It means she's angry. But he explained that he meant the modern world is full of insecurity, fear, war, worry, and all the rest of it, and that I just want to escape. So now modern, most of us make the spelling error. We write modern. It's not modern, it's modern. Right? So what did the psychiatrist tell the wife? Because she's angry that he's claiming that her husband is not really happy with this one. Probably he is giving her a hint that something is wrong with him psychologically. So she's feeling angry with this man, and to convince her, what is he saying? He's giving her an argument. He's placing a counter argument there. He says, look at this. I want you to underline this line because this particular line is quoted and there's a question on this particular line. So he says, he explained that he meant the modern world. The psychiatrist explained to his wife, Jack Finney's wife. He says, see, the modern world is full of insecurity, fear, war, worry, and all the other things, which make life very difficult. And then I just want to escape. And he says, your husband just wants to escape. So he's claiming that there's a third level. So that is the reason why I'm saying that he needs help. And that he's unhappy. Because this is not, uncommon. It is everywhere. It is seen among people who cannot face or take stress, and manage it properly. So, well, who doesn't? So naturally, many people have a lot of worries, stress, tension. And it's very common these days. Those days when you talk about a psychiatrist, you think a person is mad. But these days, you go to a psychiatrist even for counseling. Even if a child shows, a little kind of behavior problems, she's taken to a psychiatrist for help. So there are counseling sessions, even in weddings. Marriages are not healthy. The couple is taken to the psychiatrist. So these days, it's very common process. Everybody I know wants to escape. And he also says that, see, this problem that I am having is very common. And I know people who have such kind of problems. Even that is very common. And he says, everybody I know, even my friends, want to escape. But they don't wander down into any third level at Grand Central Station. So he says, I vary from them. I know they also have problems like me, but I am the only person who has found the third level. They have not found any third level. They have not gone walking down any third level of the Grand Central Station. They have not found such a place. But I have found it. So that is where I differ from the others. So, but that's the reason, he said, and my friends all agree. So what is the reason? Why I am saying you're unhappy? Because you say you found the third level. Everything points to it. So whatever you claim that you have seen shows that you're not very happy. There's some problem. You need to, act upon it and do something to rectify it. Everything points to it, they claim. My stamp collecting. So they're saying not only finding the third level, you have other hobbies like your stamp collection. Okay, your stamp collection is also, a medium of escape. So why stamp collecting, for example? That's a temporary refuge from reality. So this is a very dream, wish fulfillment. Now here, the stamp collecting. So the stamp collection, he's claiming that the stamp collection is also an escape. So stamp collecting is referred to as a temporary refuge. Temporary refuge. What's a refuge? What is refuge? What does refuge mean? Refuge from reality. What do you mean by refuge? A place where you find protection. Refugee camp, you see. What happens in the refugee camp? People who come from other countries, who have no other go, who are helpless, they come and join the refugee camp. They are refugees, they want shelter, they want protection. So he says, when you do your hobbies, your hobby being stamp collection, while you do that, you're finding a temporary, very short relief, from this present world of fear, war, anxiety. Well, maybe my grandfather, he says, yeah, okay, people might think that stamp collection is also a refuge, but my grandfather didn't need any refuge from reality. He says those days things were pretty nice and peaceful. So he says, my grandfather, he was not, so stressed out as people claim to be. He also had a hobby, stamp collection. So he says everything was very nice, pretty nice and peaceful in his day, from all I hear. And he started my stamp collection. So where is the stamp collection coming from? It's coming right from his grandfather. Some people would like to hand over their collection to the next generation. So probably his grandfather liked him a lot, and so he passed over his collection of stamps to this boy. It's a nice collection too. So he says, my grandfather had a lovely collection and he gave it to me. Blocks of 4 of practically every US issue. Blocks of 4? 4 of each, blocks. Okay? Like in a box, you have 4. You take your stamps and stick them somewhere. Okay? So, he says, and practically every US issue. So, whenever a stamp was issued, this man would collect and keep them safely. First day covers and so on. So what are these first day covers? We will go on and look at it. I've already told you about first day covers. Towards the end of the lesson, they tell you what a first day cover is. So let's keep the suspense going and let's go on. President Roosevelt collected stamps too, So what is he saying? Even a president collected stamps, and you are saying I want a temporary refuge from reality. What happens to President Roosevelt? So probably there's nothing wrong with me. Okay, for such a great person can have such problems, why not me? Okay. Anyway, here's what happened at Grand Central. So he's telling you how he found this third level in Grand Central. One night last summer, I worked late at the office. I was in a hurry to get uptown to my apartment, so I decided to take the subway from Grand Central because it's faster than the bus. So this is very simple. So he worked, it was too late, he wanted to go get back home fast. So he decided to take the railroad rather than the bus route. So he did not want to use the bus, he wanted to use the train. Now, I don't know why this should have happened to me. I'm just an ordinary guy named Charlie, 31 years. Okay. So actually, the author, so far he has mentioned I, but here he introduces that I as Charlie. All right. So I am just an ordinary guy named Charlie, 31 years old, and I was wearing a tan gabardine suit. Gabardine is tightly woven fabric. Okay. Suit and a straw hat with a fancy band. I passed a dozen men who looked just like me. And I wasn't trying to escape from anything. I just wanted to get home to Louisa, my wife. So, what does he want now? He is in a hurry to get back home. He's introducing himself as Charlie. It's not Jack Finney here. In the beginning, you take I as Jack Finney, but Jack Finney here introduces the character slowly. All right. In the beginning, when we read, we feel it's Jack Finney, but it's not Jack Finney. Jack Finney, the writer, is introducing another character here. So this I throughout is Charlie. All right. So I'm just an ordinary guy named Charlie, 31 years old, and I was wearing a tan gabardine suit and a straw hat with a fancy band. I passed a dozen men who looked just like me. And I wasn't trying to escape from anything. So he's saying I was not in any, mood to escape from anything. I just wanted to get home to Louisa, my wife. My only botheration was that I want to get back home because my wife is waiting at home, and the wife's name is Louisa. So the two characters here. One is Charlie. Then you have Louisa, his wife. Louisa, his wife. I turned into Grand Central from Vanderbilt Avenue and went down the steps to the first level, where you take trains like the 20th century. So he's talking about how he went in, how he went into the first level, and he was waiting for a train. Then I walked down another flight to the second level. Flight here, flight of steps. Okay, so the staircase. He's talking about flight is a collective noun, flight of steps, where the suburban trains leave from the second level, all right? Ducked into an arched doorway, got down, ducked in, doorway, heading for the subway and got lost. So that is where I got lost. That's easy to do. I've been in and out of Grand Central hundreds of times, but I'm always bumping into new doors and stairs and corridors. So he says, I've always been going up and down this Grand Central Station. It's not a new place to me. But whenever I go there, something happens and I find new places. You know, like if you watch Harry Potter, you find a whole lot of people waiting at the railway station. But Harry alone, the group of witches and wizards alone, they find another place. They just go bumping into a wall and they go into another place and they get into a special train and they are off to the college or to the school. So yeah, that's easy to do. I've been in and out of Grand Central hundreds of times, but I'm always bumping into new doorways and stairs and corridors. Once I got into a tunnel about a mile long and came out in the lobby of the Roosevelt Hotel. So he says, once I got into a tunnel. So you know what tunnels are, right? Underground, like a train goes through a tunnel sometimes. When dark places, a tunnel where two sides are open. The train enters, it's completely dark, then it comes out. That's a tunnel. All right. So here he says, I got into a tunnel about a mile long and came out in the lobby of Roosevelt Hotel. So he went into the tunnel, but he found himself coming out of Roosevelt Hotel. Okay, so he does not know how he reached there. Another time, he says, one more example, I came up in an office building on 46th Street, 3 blocks away. So whenever he gets into a place, he finds himself coming out, from a totally different area, place. Sometimes I think Grand Central is growing like a tree, pushing up new corridors and staircases like roots. So this is a civil. He says Grand Central is growing like a tree, pushing out new corridors like roots are pushed out from a tree. He says Grand Central Station has a lot of corridors and staircases. Corridors are passages where you walk. On in our school we have corridors. Where you walk, you walk out of your classroom, you land on the corridor, then you go down the staircase, right? There is probably a long tunnel that nobody knows about, feeling its way under the city right now, on its way to Times Square, and maybe another to Central Park, and maybe because for so many people through the years, Grand Central has been an exit, a way of escape. Maybe that's how the tunnel I got into. But I never told my psychiatrist friend about that idea. So he says, see, there are so many places I enter somewhere and I exit somewhere else. Okay, there's probably a long tunnel that nobody knows about. He feels nobody knows about what he has found, feeling its way under the city right now. So he says there might be a tunnel somewhere under the city, underground, on its way to Times Square place, right? And maybe another to Central Park. So probably there's a tunnel which comes out, which leads to Central Park. Sometimes it leads to Times Square. And maybe because for so many people through the years, Grand Central has been an exit, a way of escape. And maybe because for so many people through the years, Grand Central has been an exit, a way of escape. So probably he thinks there are other people who might have found it like him. Maybe that's how the tunnel I got into. So I also found something like that. But I never told my psychiatrist friend about that idea. So he says, I've never told my doctor about all these things, but I feel there is a tunnel somewhere underground, and that leads to Central Park and Times Square, and it is still existing. According to Charlie, it still exists. The corridor I was in began angling left and slanting downward, and I thought that was wrong. But I kept on walking. So it's angling left, taking the left, and slanting, going downwards. And I thought that was wrong, but I kept on walking. So there's something wrong about this corridor, but he thought, let me keep walking. All I could hear was the empty sound of my footsteps, and I did not pass a soul. So he did not find anybody there. Soul in the sense, he did not find any human being there. Then I heard that sort of hollow roar ahead. That means open space and people talking. So when there is an empty space and then suddenly you enter another place where there's a big crowd, you keep hearing noises. So that's how he has found that there is a group of people somewhere and there's a crowd somewhere nearby. The tunnel turned sharp left. Quickly there was a left, sudden left. I went down a short flight of stairs and came out on the 3rd level at Grand Central Station. So suddenly he takes that left and suddenly he comes out to this particular 3rd level on the Grand Central Station. So for just a moment, I thought I was back on the 2nd level. He thought he was on the 2nd level, but I saw the room was smaller. So there was a difference about what he saw about the 2nd level and what he is now experiencing on the 3rd level. So he says, for just a moment, I thought I was back on the 2nd level, but I saw the room was smaller. There were fewer ticket windows where they issue the tickets, and train gates, and the information booth in the center was wood and older looking. So everything, the whole setup was of the old-fashioned kind, okay, old times. So, and the man in the booth wore a green eye shade and long black sleeve protectors. The lights were dim and sort of flickering. Then I saw why. They were open flame outside. So everything was different. The way this man was presenting himself, the clothes he was wearing, the way he was seated, the lights there, everything was different. And in fact, he mentions it was gas lights, not the electricity that we use these days. There were brass spittoons, a large board where you spit on the floor, and across the station, a glint of light caught my eye. A man was pulling a gold watch from his vest pocket. These days we wear watches on our wrist. But those days they had it in their pockets. He snapped open the cover, glanced at his watch, and frowned. So he opened the cover, he took the watch, frowned, and he was, that shows that the man belonged to totally a different century, probably, an old fashioned person. So he wore a derby hat. Okay, here it means Derby is central England. It's a place in central England. Those people wear hats like those, a particular fashion. He wore a derby hat, a black four-button suit with tiny lappets. Lappets are parts. Okay, parts, and he had a big black handlebar mustache. No, mushes are of different kinds. Okay, probably it was like this, like a handlebar you hold and on a cycle, right? So he had a different kind of mustache. Then I looked around and saw that everyone in the station was dressed like 1890 something, 1890, 1891, those things. I never saw so many beards, sideburns, and fancy mustaches. Sideburns are this, what the hair that grows on the side, and fancy mustaches in my life. So they're totally different. Their style, their fashion at that time was different from the fashion that we have now. Fashion keeps changing. So he says, these kind of people I've never seen, I've never experienced such kind of bushes or mustaches, sideburns. They were totally different from what we have at present in his time. A woman walked in through the train gate. She wore a dress with leg of mutton sleeves and skirts to the top of her high-buttoned shoes. Tapering sharply, goes down like it goes down like that. Tapers down means it goes down, right? So he says a woman walked in through the train gate. She wore a dress with a leg of mutton sleeves and skirts to the top of her high-buttoned shoes. So those days they wore shoes, like these gum boots, what you call it. Sometimes you watch these people walking in water. Sometimes you watch these people who are laying the roads. They have to, they wear a lot of, big boots. Some people who cannot afford it cut the tire and the tube of the tire, and they use it like boots. Okay, so back of her, out on the tracks, I caught a glimpse of a locomotive train, a very small Courier and Ives locomotive with a funneled shaped stack. Stack is a heap. And then I knew, what did you know? That he was somewhere else. Okay? To make sure, I walked over to a newsboy and glanced at a stack of papers at his feet. It was the World. The World here is in italics. So here it means the newspaper, refers to the newspaper. And the World hasn't been published for years. So in his present world, this particular newspaper has never, it has stopped functioning. They don't get these newspapers anymore. The lead story said something about President Cleveland. So, the main highlighted part, the first page usually carries the most important news. So it was talking about President Cleveland. So you can imagine, he spoke about Roosevelt, now he's talking about Cleveland. So you can imagine the space, the time, travel, okay? I found that front page since in the public library files, and it was printed June 11, 1894. So he has traveled back to 1894. We do not know whether he has traveled back to 1894, but he claims that he saw this particular date written on the newspaper, which means he claims that he is in 1894. I turned towards the ticket windows, knowing that here, on the third level at Grand Central, I could buy tickets that would take Louisa and me anywhere in the United States we wanted to go. In the year 1894, and I wanted 2 tickets to Galesburg, Illinois. It's Illinois, not Illinois. Okay. So here he says, okay, let me go and buy 2 tickets. No, I can go to Galesburg. He wanted to go to Galesburg, Illinois. Now, there is another movie in Tamil where, this boy, they time travel, they go to a gold shop. They claim that the value of gold is much, much less when compared to the present day value. So they take some money and they travel back, and that fellow claims that these people are, thieves or whatever, and they start running back. That's a movie. I think the hero is Jiva or whatever. They have a time travel machine. Okay, something of that sort happens here. So have you ever been there? It's a wonderful town. He's talking about Galesburg in Illinois. It is a wonderful town still with big old frame houses. So the present Galesburg also has these old houses, huge lawns and tremendous trees whose branches meet overhead. Okay, like the road that we have down Sevanur to Ramdapadi, you know how the trees are, they meet, and it's a beautiful sight. And roof the streets. So the branches meet and they roof the street. They act as if they are a roof to the road down there. And in 1894, summer evenings were twice as long, and people sat out on their lawns. He's talking about 1894, where, now at present we talk about pollution, we talk about the climatic change and all those things. So he talks about 1894, he says the summers were twice as long, and people sat in the lawns, chatting, smoking cigarettes, and talking quietly, women waving palm leaf fans, those olden day fans in the hand, with the fireflies all around, the peaceful world. So he claims that 1894 was more peaceful when compared to the present day. To be back there with the First World War, still 20 years off, and World War II, or 40 years in the future, I wanted 2 tickets for that. So he talks about his desire to go to Galesburg, which is in Illinois. He says, if I were to travel to 1894, to experience that kind of a place, I would have 20 years to face the First World War and 40 years for the Second World War. So he thinks it would be more peaceful there. So he plans to take his wife and settle down in Galesburg, Illinois.